What's up guys, welcome to the official Apple day. The iPhone 13 series is finally here. It's time to see how Apple's absolute unit, the maxed out iPhone 13 Pro Max, stacks up against Samsung's Galaxy S21 Ultra. Even though we don't have massive jumps compared to previous generation, but we have some amazing new Pro level features from Apple that can actually give a tough time to the Ultra flagship from Samsung. Now times have changed, pricing wise both phones are almost kidney breaking expensive, but this time since we don't have a Galaxy Note flagship smartphone, the S21 Ultra is actually $100 cheaper than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which starts at $1,100. Now depending on the storage option, you can go higher up. With Samsung you have the 256GB option, but with the iPhone you not only get 512GB but also all the way up to 1TB option, which goes for about $1,600. Most people will be going for the base pricing, so you're getting 128GB of base storage on both phones. And no, we don't have the expandable storage on Samsung anymore, in case you were wondering. Now design wise, it's not a surprise. The iPhone 13 Pro Max largely remains the same compared to the previous models. We have slightly thicker camera lenses, a slightly thicker body thanks to a bigger battery, and a smaller notch, which doesn't look that much change compared to previous model. It's still no match for Samsung's clean looking punch hole design. It's crazy, you can actually pick any year and Samsung always does better when it comes to the front display design compared to the iPhone. Both phones are having a pretty large display as usual, 6.7" on the 13 Pro Max, while the Galaxy S21 Ultra has about 6.8" screen. Now we finally have 120Hz refresh rate on the 13 Pro Max. This is probably the last flagship phone to have the 120Hz refresh rate, and I gotta say, better late than never. Thanks to Samsung, we actually have LTPO refresh rate technology on iPhone as well, so refresh rate can switch from 120Hz all the way up to 10Hz to conserve more battery. Both displays will be stunning, but Samsung display is still a little bit brighter, coming at 1500 peak brightness. Apart from the brighter display, let's not forget the S21 Ultra is also compatible with the S Pen. You actually get Galaxy Note features on Samsung's S21 Ultra because there is no Note phone, so this kind of combines the best of both worlds for those who need something that iPhone 13 Pro Max cannot do. As for the back design, both phones have their unique look. It's gonna come down to personal preference. As far as the material is concerned, both phones are super premium. We have matte finish. iPhone has that sharp boxy design look with more colors. Galaxy S21 Ultra on the other hand is a little bit more rounded, which can be a bit of an advantage for some people as far as holding in one hand. Plus it's actually lighter than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now if you're thinking why can't Apple just get rid of the notch and do the punch hole, it's because it has Face ID built in. Apple has built their ecosystem around the Face ID, and it also doubles as a 3D camera, which enables the brand new cinematic mode. We've seen portrait video on many Android phones including Galaxy S21 Ultra for a while now, but Apple's approach is different and it's actually cinematic. Instead of applying a blur filter to the back of the subject, which most phones are doing including the Galaxy S21 Ultra, Apple has implemented the technique called rag focus, which basically pulls the focus from the subject and the background, and it looks super cinematic. It works with both front and back camera. One thing to keep in mind is that both Apple's cinematic mode and Samsung's portrait video mode is limited to 1080p video mode only, so no 4K. But as far as the implementation goes, Apple has an upper hand. As for the performance, Apple still leads the way. Apple is claiming that they have the world's fastest smartphone chip, and they're actually right. Whether you have the Snapdragon 888 model or the Exynos 2100 model of the S21 Ultra, they stand no chance against the Apple A15 chip. They actually can't even beat last year's Apple A14. This year's A15 chip is similar to A14 with not a huge jump when it comes to CPU, but Apple has went heavy on the GPU side of things, creating possibly the strongest GPU on any phone right now. As far as the benchmark performance, numbers, and FPS is concerned, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has an edge over the S21 Ultra. When it comes to the real-life usage, yes, we still have flagship chip on the S21 Ultra. For daily day-to-day apps, there may not be a huge difference, but we'll be testing out everything very soon. Now let's talk about camera. In past few years, Samsung consistently had a pretty good edge over Apple in terms of versatility. And that is actually still true because the iPhone 13 Pro Max still doesn't offer a periscope zoom setup. It's still coming at 3x optical zoom, whereas we get up to 10x optical on the S21 Ultra, and it goes all the way up to 100x. It may not be that much usable on that level, but you still get pretty decent look at 30 times zoom. But apart from that zoom, the iPhone 13 Pro Max now offers pretty much the same versatility as the S21 Ultra, now including a macro mode for the first time for both photos and videos thanks to the new all-improved ultra-wide-angle lens. The biggest upgrade to the camera is with the ultra-wide-angle lens now coming at f1.8 aperture at 12 megapixel resolution compared to Samsung's f2.2 aperture at 12 megapixel resolution. Thanks to a larger aperture, Apple will get more light to the sensor, and considering how close the iPhone 12 Pro Max is in terms of its ultra-wide performance compared to the S21 Ultra, the iPhone 13 Pro Max could possibly do better. Both phones offer night mode with all lenses, whether it's a zoom lens, ultra-wide-angle lens, front camera lens, or the main lens. Speaking of main lens, not a lot has changed with that. We now have a slightly larger f1.5 aperture. It's still a 12 megapixel sensor compared to Samsung's 108 megapixel sensor. As far as the images are concerned, both phones will be neck and neck. The only difference that you're going to notice is with the colors and the skin tones. When it comes to the video performance, you're looking at some of the best video recording that you can get out of a smartphone in 2021. But the question right now is that which one is offering those extra pro features? Now, Samsung has an 8K video recording mode, which in my opinion is very gimmicky, whereas Apple on the other hand for the first time offers a ProRes video recording mode. Yes, you can shoot a raw video straight from the iPhone's camera. As a pro user, you'll actually be able to do a lot more with color grading and everything in the post. In my opinion, Apple's ProRes video is more of a professional move compared to Samsung's 8K video recording. While I do think the S21 Ultra has the best video performance among all Android phones, Apple still got the edge in the video game. Now when it comes to the software, we're gonna get iOS 15 on iPhone 13 Pro Max and very soon Android 12 on the S21 Ultra. They'll both be similar in a lot of ways, like the new widgets and of course the navigation system, the security indicators, all that good stuff. Still, Android will be better in customization, whereas Apple will be better with the third-party app optimization like with the Instagram and Snapchat. Both operating system goes hand in hand. With that being said, Samsung does bring some great features to the table, especially if you're in the Windows ecosystem. Their phones will work wirelessly and seamlessly with Windows machines. One of my favorite features on the S21 Ultra is the wireless DeX capability. It transformed the S21 Ultra into a desktop-like experience, something that Apple would probably never implement with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The S21 Ultra compared to the iPhone still give you more of a supercomputer vibe, where Apple still have that closed ecosystem look. Still, because of that walled garden and that closed ecosystem, it's gonna work great with the Apple Mac devices. So depending on which ecosystem you belong to, one will work better than the other. All in all, I will say Apple is here. The 13 Pro Max does deliver some really good features compared to the S21 Ultra. Samsung still overall provides more features like the S Pen capability, periscope zoom. It does still a notch ahead of Apple when it comes to the versatility, but unlike last year, this time Apple has focused on extra features as well because, I mean, not much has changed, so it was better to implement things like improved ultra-wide-angle lens, which adds macro mode. That cinematic mode looks pretty good. ProRes RAW video mode is pretty awesome. It's gonna all come down to your preferences. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts regarding how the iPhone 13 Pro Max compares to the S21 Ultra. Which side are you on? Drop your comment and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.